controls a character in an organism, and gene has two alternate forms called as alleles. And out of the two alleles, one is dominant, other is recessive. Dominant allele will show its expression in homozygous or in heterozygous state. So we can define dominant factor or gene, one of a pair of alleles which can show its expression in homozygous or heterozygous state is called as dominant factor or gene. If we take the example of pea plant which was studied by Mendel in detail, if we consider its height, now height is determined by capital T gene. If capital T and capital T is present, this is called as homozygous dominant. And if capital T is present along with small t, this is called as heterozygous. And out of the two alleles, capital T will show its expression and small t, which is the recessive factor, will not show its expression. So in the heterozygous state, organism will remain tall. So capital T, capital T, capital T, small t will show tallness. So here capital T is the dominant factor. Now, if we consider the seed shape of the pea plant, so capital R, this is round, and capital R, small r will be round, because capital R is the dominant gene and small r is the recessive gene. So capital R will show its expression whether it is homozygous dominant or it is heterozygous. Small r will remain recessive. This will not show its expression. Small r is for wrinkled shape of the seed. Now if we see the position of the flower, if the genes are capital A, axial position, they will arise in the axial position. And if it is heterozygous dominant, that is capital A with a small a will show terminal position in the flower, but its expression will remain hidden in presence of capital A. So capital A is dominant. So this is in the homozygous state and this is in the heterozygous state. Now if you see the color of the seed, now yellow color is dominant. Capital Y will control the yellow color. This may be present in homozygous dominant or heterozygous, and small y is for green color. So this is a recessive gene. Here small a is for terminal position. So this is a recessive gene. Now, as we discussed, recessive factor or gene will not show its expression in presence of dominant gene. So we can define recessive factor, the factor of an allelic or allelomorphic pair, mean a gene controls a character. It has two alternate forms, out of which one may be dominant, second may be recessive, or two may be dominant, two may be recessive. So it will not show its expression in presence of the contrasting factor or in the dominant gene. So this is called as a recessive factor, like we discussed here. Here small t is recessive, small r is recessive, a is recessive, y is recessive. So this terminology is given in small letter and dominant is given in a capital letter. So these are the dwarf genes, or we can say recessive genes, and these genes will only show its expression when they are present in a pure homozygous state. Means, like we are talking about plant height, but if it is small t and small t, then the organism will be dwarf. And if it is small r, then the shape of the seed will be wrinkled. And if it is small a, then position will be terminal. And if it is small y, then color will be green. So they will show their expression in the homozygous state, but their expression will remain hidden in presence of the dominant gene. So this is all about dominant and recessive factor.